Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to Karpo Gaming and another Borderlands 3 video. Well, we have the new takedown at the Guardian Breach right here, and it is active and it is live. But there may be some issues for some people. So today I want to bring to you a walkthrough and a complete guide to the takedown at the Guardian Breach. Now, for this video, we're going to do things a little bit differently. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go through each section step by step. We're going to clear out all the enemies. I'm going to show you exactly what type of enemies you're going to be facing against. And then I'm going to show you exactly how you can clear the area and move on to the next. In each step along the way, I will be giving you tips and tricks to letting you know how you can do this solo. Now there's a few things that you want to keep in mind. There are two things. One, you're going to be charging a bunch of pylons, and two, you're going to be doing a lot of parkour, and hopefully you can get to the boss and get yourself some of the new legendary gear. And don't worry, I got you covered with all of the boss steps as well. Now, first things first, in order to start off this new takedown, you need to go to Sanctuary and you need to go into Tanish's room. To the left will be the new Science Borderlands game, but right here there will be a blue crystal that you can interact with. Go ahead, interact with it, and you will accept the discovery to the takedown at the Guardian Breach. From here, you want to head to the front of the ship, and you want to actually travel to Minos Prime. Use the drop pod and make your way to the new lovely takedown. The takedown at the Guardian Breach. Now, we're finally here, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Now, the first part of the takedown is pretty straightforward. Nothing too extravagant and too simple, but there are some things to take into consideration. One, in order to beat this takedown, you're going to be doing a lot of parkour. And two, in order to beat this takedown, you're going to have to make 2 clean runs. That's right, 2 clean runs, because there is only one checkpoint. You heard me right, there's only one checkpoint. Yeah, one checkpoint. So you're going to have to go through and do 2 clean runs without dying, and then you'll be able to beat the takedown. In between there's a bunch of enemies and a bunch of parkour and even some boss mechanics as well. Now, a lot of people might think this is tough. To me, it's kind of similar to a Destiny raid. So, me being a Destiny player, it's not too hard. Now, for the first part, you need to clear out all the enemies, and then you just basically need to charge these pylons. You're going to be doing this throughout the whole entire mission. Charge either of these pylons up, and it will open this door. Now, the first set of pylons is pretty easy. Now, before you charge the pylons, there is one more thing you're going to have to do. You're going to have to actually activate this switch, and it's easier said than done. Here's where the parkouring is going to come in. This is the first step, and it's like I said, it's easier said than done. You can either jump from over there or you can jump straight up. Okay, once you do that, you'll be able to jump over to the last part, activate the switch, and then activate the pylons. Now, there is a little bit of low gravity going on in this raid as well, so keep that into consideration when you are jumping. The worst thing you can do is make your way all the way to the boss, or right before you get to the boss, and die because you didn't parkour right and didn't mount it right. It's horrible. It's so disheartening. Spend 20-30 minutes and then that happens. Taking out the enemies is not too tough. The problem is getting knocked down and getting blown up. So basically, after you charge up those 2 pylons, we're going to open up this door and we're going to make it to the next part, Witness to Sin. Now, this part is pretty straightforward, as you just basically need to take out the enemies as they drop down, and then you're going to start making through the first jump puzzle, I guess, right here in the takedown. But if you're playing solo, I'm pretty sure you can pass this up. But for the purposes of this video, I'm going to go ahead and show you exactly what enemies you're going to face and how long this will actually take. It's not too bad. Some of the other parts later on, I will show you the enemies and then I will just skip over it because the video is still quite long. It will be even longer. But like I said, this is a full walkthrough, taking through each section step by step, showing you the enemies, clear out those enemies, and then showing you exactly what you need to do and any tips and tricks that I found along the way, which I did find quite a few. So from here, like I said, you're going to start on your first series of jumps, but you don't actually have to kill those enemies, but it makes it a whole lot easier if you are in a group. Now here is our first vent. You're going to find a lot of these throughout the game, and they are extremely important as they are going to save your hide when you are actually fighting against the different bosses. But for right now, you want to clear this rock. It's going to rotate. If it rotates all the way up, it can hit you. It's almost dead right there. It's going to knock you down. You're going to have to start all the way over. So make sure it is sitting horizontally. Hit that jump. Make your way over here. There's a little ledge you can jump on. Jump across to this rotating piece. Jump once more. And you're off to the next vent jump. Like I said, you're going to see a lot of these, and they are extremely important throughout the game. So from right here, we're going to jump down. There are the next set of pylons. There are 3 of them this time. And things are going to work a little bit differently. Once we get over there, enemies are going to spawn. We're going to take out all of the enemies. Then we're going to hit another switch. Then we'll be able to charge the pylons. But this time, it's going to work a little differently. As all 3 pylons are going to come online, they are going to start an internal timer, a countdown. And if they reach all the way down to basically 0 by not charging up, they will explode and you basically are going to wipe. But don't worry, I got you covered on here, especially if you are doing this solo. So this was my strategy for this part. Okay, take out all the enemies, you come over here, you hit the switch, and there's 3 pylons. So what I did when I was running this solo is you go to your first pylon. Doesn't matter which one you want, but for the purpose of this video, I took the one all the way to the left. Now when you do this, enemies will start to spawn in. Now like I said, the other pylons will be not charging. They're actually going to be charging down. When they charge all the way down, they will explode. The problem is enemies will be trying to knock you off of this platform when you need to stay on it. If you get taken out, just easily get your second wind back and stay on the very first platform until you charge it all the way up. Now once you charge it all the way up, you're going to jump to the second pylon. Now the second pylon is pretty much almost going to be down, and it's almost going to be ready to blow up. As you can see, the 2 pylons are charging down, but that's fine. Don't worry about it. This is the strat that I use, and it works out flawlessly. So charge the first pylon. You're going to go to the second pylon. On that second pylon, of course, enemies are going to be spawning in, but you're only going to charge it halfway. You're going to charge that second pylon halfway, and then we're going to run to the third pylon. And once you're at the third pylon, you're going to charge up that third one fully, and then head back to the second one, and then charge up, and you'll have plenty enough time to do all 3. So that's what we're going to do. Now, there are 1 other enemies. Those extra guardians, what you see them with that little giant circle above their head, they will explode you and can basically one-shot you. So make sure you just look out for them, take out all of these enemies, and follow the strategy that I use. It actually works pretty good, especially on the next part where we basically have to do the same thing. So take out all 3 of those charged up pylons, the door will open, and we're on to the next part. Now the next part is called the false well. The false well is pretty straightforward, but then again, it is a little tricky. So for this part, there will be a ton of enemies. You're going to make your way down this little corridor. There's going to be some more enemies. They're going to try to trap you in the middle. Don't let them trap you on that bridge. Just run all the way back and let the enemies come to you, because what they're going to try to do is kind of trap you in and then just basically hit you with their different moves and abilities and basically knock you off the cliff. Then you're going to have to start all the way over. You don't want that to happen. Like I said, the enemies aren't too hard and aren't too much of a problem. Is that they try to knock you off the edge, and then you have to parkour. Once again, we're off to the next part through the door, and there are some more enemies that we're going to take out. But after we take out these enemies, we're going to start to see a little rumble, and there it is. Time to parkour. This is where a lot of people may spend a lot of time and quite actually might die later on. So we're going to talk about these floating platforms. Now, these floating platforms can be a little bit tricky. They do disappear, they do go invisible, but they are not transparent. Meaning that even when you jump on them, when they disappear or go invisible, you will not fall down. So just take your time, okay? Don't worry about it. You want to make your way all the way through to this middle, you need to jump down. Now, if you fall down, which I'm about to show you right now, it's okay. It's going to be a ton of enemies down here though, so just clear out all the enemies, and after you do so, there will be vents on both sides that can shoot you right back up to the top, and you can just easily try again. So don't worry about it if you fall down, but there is a ton of enemies down there that you're going to have to take out. Like I said, it's going to boost you right back up here to the top, and then you'll be able to get your parkour again. This is basically a starting spot, so to speak, when it comes to parkouring. Because the other ones, like I said, if you don't get it right, you will die and you will have to start all the way over, and that, it just sucks. Especially if you clear all and doing everything all the way up to this point, and then you miss a mouthful and you die, or you get bumped off and you die. It just absolutely sucks. But for this part, this is how you do it. It's pretty straightforward, pretty easy. Like I said, if you just go ahead and you just jump down on purpose and take out the enemies, it makes this part much more easier. So after you jump through this middle down little section, you're going to start sliding straight Goonie style. Now don't worry, it's not no enemies you need to take out or anything like that, but just know you're about to enter into the boss room, the first boss room. And herein will lies all the different mechanics that we've been doing thus far. It's going to round all up into one boss fight. Now the same mechanics that we're going to use for this boss is the same mechanics that we're going to use for the last boss, except for the last boss is going to have some extra hidden mechanics as well, but we'll get to that. But for right now, just go ahead, slide on down. There is one ammunition station you can go ahead and pick up some ammo from before you fight this boss, the mid boss, the one boss that is going to prevent you from hitting the checkpoint. So yeah, there's one checkpoint and there's two bosses, 2 clean runs, you can beat this takedown. Alright, let's get with it. This is Anathema, the Relentless. Now, Anathema is a pretty tough boss, but it also can be pretty easy if you know what you're doing. Initially, she's going to hit these little fire pits through the ground. Just basically avoid them, avoid the enemies, and you want to deal as much damage as possible until it goes into its first immune stage. Now, this immune stage, or phase, is going to make a nice little oval Nova bomb around the boss, as you can see. If you get caught in that ball, you will die, wipe, you're going to have to start over, or basically spectate if you're playing in a group. You don't want to do that, so jump on an event after you deal enough damage, jump to the next part, and then wash, rinse, repeat. Avoid the damage, take out the enemies, deal enough damage to until we go immune, then it's going to try to blow up on you. Jump on this vent like I'm saying, get to a safe spot around the map, it's blowing up over there, and yeah, he spawns Inspector. Each time it will get tougher. We'll spawn in 2 enemies, 3 enemies doing all of the same things. So just watch, rinse, repeat. If he takes you out, just take out an enemy, second win, and eventually you'll beat him. The first boss can drop some shields. I didn't get any, but you won't get any weapons from the first boss. After that, you're going to go into the portal and you will finally reach the first and only checkpoint in this raid. So if you made it to this point, congratulations, you absolutely did an outstanding job. Getting to just halfway through this raid is an accomplishment, trust me, I know. Now once you're here, you're on to the second part. Remember, you only need to do clean runs, 2 clean runs. So you made it to the checkpoint, cool, take out all of these enemies. It's nothing too special here, but you do have some parkour. I died on this part a few times. It looks very simple, but trust me, you go up there and you think you got it and you don't master and you fall down and then you have to die. But don't worry, we're right here at the boss. There's only a couple more things we have to do in order to get to the final boss. So like I said, if you can make it through halfway through this, you can beat this, trust me, you can. So once you finish this part, it will be another section. You can either go to the left or to the right. There will be some vents that's just going to shoot you up all the way to the next part where there will be 3 more pylons that you're going to have to charge up. The only thing different from this phase from the other phases of charging pylons is that you're going to have to shoot through those vents, and each part of the map will have some of these pylons. So you charge up all of those 3 pylons, easy peasy, and the door will open up and we'll bring you to this room. Now, I didn't show you any of those enemies because it's just like the other part. And like I said, this video is almost 15 minutes long, and I don't want you to be watching a whole bunch of me just killing enemies when you know exactly what we're facing. So that part is nothing special right there. It's just like the other part. After you take out these enemies, you have some more parkour. And I told you there's a lot of parkour, but don't worry, after you finish those 3 little steps, you're going to slide down one more time and boom.
That must be the source of the energy signature. Go in, Vault Hunter, so we may get a reading on whatever's inside. Yes, it's probably a monster of some sort, but science demands we make certain.
Oh yeah, you made it. You're finally here at the final boss room. One more ammo dump, fully charged up. You can get your head together because here comes the final boss. Head through the portal and let's go. Here we are at the Court of Offering. A new discovery is discovered, and we have a boss fight, ladies and gentlemen. This is the boss that's going to give us some of the new legendaries that came with the update. We have to face off against Scourge, the Invincible Martyr. Now, the Scourge is actually a pretty easy fight, at least in my opinion. Deal damage, you're going to charge up this giant ball, and it's going to blow up. Just stand behind the different pillars, and you'll be good to go. You won't take any damage. Just take out the enemies, and remember, they're going to try to just bump you out the way so you can get in that blast of the boss. Avoid that, and you will then teleport you outside. Take out all of the enemies, and then jump through the portal. Now, this whole time, he's going to be charging up and getting back some of his health. That's not a good thing. So once you spawn in, take out the enemies, it's going to be this vent. You're going to jump on that vent, and you're going to punch these small little pink crystals. Punch one of them, and then he will enter out of his immune stage or phase, and then you'll be able to deal damage to him. And that's the cycle. Watch, rinse, repeat until you finally beat the boss and you've beaten the new takedown.
Population of Minos Prime, assuming they are dead, of course. Based on my scans, it's as though they disappeared off the face of the galaxy entirely. Another exciting day in science.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Another step-by-step guide right here just for you to help you get through this new takedown. I know it can be a little challenging, but trust me, if you can get through the first part, you definitely can beat this new takedown at the Guardian Breach. So yeah, that's pretty much going in for the video, ladies and gentlemen. Now I hope you truly enjoyed it. As always, once again, if you are new to this channel, hello and welcome. Don't forget to subscribe. But if you really want to help out this channel in the video and help this community grow, well, you can do so by liking the video if you indeed like this video and leaving a comment down below. I answer all your questions and I upload daily videos, so if you have any of them, just hit me up and I'll get to you back as soon as possible. Hope you and your family's having a wonderful day, and as always, I'll be seeing y'all in the next one. Later.